at the end of the day, getting inspected means you're transparent, and transparency builds trust.
Yes.
And trust is so important to any industry. Let's say there are some developers or some projects that are not up to standard, and there are some that are great. Bottom line, big picture of all of that is there is really no perfect construction.
You need to understand building trust is a long-term game. You can make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. It's what customers want isn't a perfect contractor. It's somebody who, when they answer the call, hey, may problema, they answer the phone and they go, let me fix it. Welcome back to another BTB episode, and today we have another special guest. Mukhang every week na ata may special guest
For this episode, we have a special guest. So we have here today Mark of Philinspect.
Woo! That was too hype. I'm sorry. No, it's okay. We'll keep it. Let's just move forward. Let's just pretend like that never happened.
So Mark, being the president of Philinspect, people know what inspection is now because of your content. And we've invited you here today because in Beyond the Build podcast, we actually teach contractors and business owners to become better in their trade. And for you, it's very important for you to share how trust actually is important in the construction industry. That's why our topic for today is how trust builds strong companies.
So this is going to be a little controversial. Do you believe that contractors are actually scared to get in touch with you? So let's say you may magbe-message sa'yo. What's the percentage of contractors messaging you guys to inspect their project versus clients saying, hey, can you inspect the project that this contractor is making?
So that's a good question, right? Before actually the partnership that we have with Madhouse, we actually had no contractors at all. Zero.
Sa lahat until today. Aside from Madhouse, let's just cut Madhouse out. Aside from Madhouse, until today, would you say?
Well, now we have inquiries now. Yeah, that they're like, hey, we saw...
You be transforming the industry.
So definitely, you were like the forefront of actually like, influencing them to actually make sure that their quality is up to par. You know what I mean? So that's what they mentioned, that they're like, hey, we want the same thing as Madhouse. We want that same thing. So it was great because now the mission of what Philinspect is about is to improve construction in the Philippines.
Yeah.
So if the contractors are willing to audit their sites and making sure that they address those issues, we're actually like our mission is like moving forward.
Before we proceed with the following questions, I would like to apologize in advance to our Filipino market. We are again with... Parang puro Englishero na yung mga kausap namin. Don't worry guys, eventually we'll spice it up. But mag-prepare po kayo ng tissue because you will have a nosebleed. Let's go and proceed.
In that question, Mark, she was asking how many contractors was willing to open up their sites to be inspected. Wala. But what do you think the reason is? Why is that?
I feel that it's a combination of like, as a contractor, you're prideful of your work. You know what I mean? And I feel like with Filipinos, that's one of their traits. It could be positive, but it could also be negative. You know what I mean? And sometimes some contractors, they're so experienced, many years, 10 to 15 years. Who are you gonna tell them on how to build a house, because they probably built hundreds, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's the right way or with quality. It's just like nobody keeps them accountable to seeing if it's per standard or not. So it just surprised me ever since like we did that partnership. Like, I mean, it's coming in. You know what I mean? Like every now and then we have this like one or two like architects or contractors that are like, hey, we saw that content. How does that work? We want the same thing because we want to make sure that we have a quality product. So
at the end of the day, getting inspected means you're transparent, and transparency builds trust.
Yes.
And trust is so important to any industry. If you have trust in your business, kasi that's easier for you to be able to market, to be able to do your projects. But Mark, what do you think trust means in the construction industry?
I think what trust means is that you have a brand that people already know what product you're providing. You get what I mean? Because you guys are great, amazing marketers. You get what I mean? And you guys understand what marketing is. There's like big, huge brands. Like, the Ayalas, the DMCIs, the SMDCs. But the thing is, at a point when you're already scaled out, it's really hard to give that transparency to the owners and buyers. You get what I mean? Because their point is to sell,
Yes.
right? To present themselves in means of a product that is quality in the eyes of how they market, right? That's one thing. But when you actually go on site and actually inspect the projects, I'm not saying that all developers are bad. There's amazing ones.
Yes.
But there's a lot of ones that are not as quality. So our job for Philinspect is to provide that information to the owners and buyers, because it sucks where it's unfortunate that they work so hard and it's not their fault that they're not really knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Right.
And it also comes from being open to something like that. Let's say there are some developers or some projects that are not up to standard, and there are some that are great. Bottom line, big picture of all of that is there is really no perfect construction. The knowledge that there is no perfect construction, there is no perfect person, takes away the ego from the situation and
Correct.
accepting that, hey, I might miss out on something. I might need some help. And knowing that initially would help you become better. So do you believe, Mark, that if you find, let's say, mistakes in this particular project, and if someone wasn't willing to uncover that, do you believe that they would probably make the same mistakes for years and years and years, and that would cost them money?
Yes, because if nobody actually identifies that defect or issue, they're just gonna keep on continuing on and doing their thing. You know what I mean? Because no one's calling them out, right? So I think it's the understanding of what quality means, and to pass it on to not only the contractor but to the laborers, to give education to making sure that they know what they're supposed to be doing. The assumption is that the contractors will subcontract, right? And they're just trying to meet a timeline. Okay, this is good. They're not really going to look at the actual quality. They just want to meet the timeline.
Yeah.
So when there's a certain standard of laborers, or let's say the skilled workers, I think that's where we have to start. You know what I mean? Go from the bottom up.
Yeah.
Because the up, they're going to be, oh yeah, I know how to build a house. That's going to be good. No worries. Oh, there's a lot of defects there. We'll fix it in the very end. But in reality, the punch listing is sometimes it's subpar, right? So
Sometimes a lot of people feel that when you're transparent today, it's a lot of money. Transparency equals cost.
correct.
So, but that is true to some extent. There's a difference between immediate consequences and delayed consequences.
Yes.
So whenever you do get it inspected and there is some mistakes that are seen, for sure, that is an immediate consequence of cost. And people don't like immediate consequences. That's why they don't like getting hurt. They don't like anything that would immediately make them feel bad. But what happens if you don't open those problems to scrutiny is that you'll end up repeating the same type of problem over and over again, and that is delayed consequences, which is more expensive than the immediate one. So if you're a business owner, you have to understand that the more you try to cover up or not accept that you can't do things perfectly, the more costs you actually have in the future, instead of you already perfecting the craft you're already in. So that's why we have Mark here today to talk about the things that are usually overlooked, overseen in construction sites, and what are the probably top things that, if Engineer Robert would be like, these are the top things that I always see on site, so we can share to our viewers na let's try to avoid that.
Sure. That's a good question, right? Typically it's workmanship,
Water
cracks.
content.
Cracks, leaks.
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 Yun yung
Yeah.
madaling itago.
With the paint, right?
Yeah, that's really, I'm just going to be completely honest. Kasi nga, for some of our commercial projects, we would have to go in. They're like, hey, the last contractor. So, months ha. Hindi nila napansin for months.
Yeah.
and then like, hey, can you do this renovation for this? Oh, you have to remove everything because behind it's all mold. And I'm like, whoa, that's really risky for one, our workers. That's one thing. Pero hindi nalaman ni client for months. Kasi nga leaks are so easy to hide.
Of course.
Cracks, not so easy. You know what I mean? If there's a crack on the wall, you see it, it's a crack. But like leaks, for sure you guys have like equipment for that.
We have like,
Actually, those are the things that as a contractor, like I would want to have access. Like somebody would tell me, "Hey, fix this," because it's cheaper to fix it now than 6 months later when your client's like, "Hey, you suck. There's a leak," and I'm like, "Where?"
And
I
that's
didn't notice.
That's true, you know, because maybe some business owners might think that the goal is to finish the project.
Yeah.
But the real goal in business is to stay in business for as long as possible. And to stay in business for as long as possible, your credibility has to surpass the timeline of your project. Let's say you finish it one time and then 6 months or 1 year later, there's a lot of back jobs.
Yeah.
Then your business credibility shortens, even if you hit the mark that one time. So it's about all big picture thinking. Sometimes a lot of the projects even use the wrong materials.
Oh, yeah.
That's why some of your
yes.
inspections, maybe the outside of the house is already faded
Yes.
because they use the wrong materials. That's why if you want really nice designs for your garden or the outside of your house, you gotta use the right materials, like this palwood exterior cladding. This is for outdoor and it can last for up to 10 years, and it's really nice. It's made out of WPC. WPC stands for wood plastic composite, and this is the one that you use for the outside so that it lasts very long. So aside from the leaks, the cracks, using the wrong materials, Mark, what are usually the other things that Philinspect can tell our contractors? Because you're usually used to telling your audience, ng mga clients, I see your
Sure.
videos, it's for the clients.
Yes,
it's
yes.
not really for the contractors.
Sure, sure.
So if you were going to flip the script, do you have an idea of what that could look like or what you can say?
Sure. I think that's a great idea to kind of open up. I think for contractors, right, it's to identify what a project, like how a project should be, right? There's many things of a construction project that has many factors to making sure that the schedule is on time, right? The materials are delivered on time, and then the people show up, right? But the thing is, sometimes it's not structured, right? So, like one of my engineers said, is like you have to look at construction as like planning out a wedding, right? There's so many different different parties that you have to coordinate with, right? So, based on with contractors, they should have a basis of how a construction company should be ran, right? With systems in place and certain standards. Like, I mean, like, let's say for beyond the build, right? I mean, to gather contractors and let them understand how to actually run a business on the back end, which is like, that's really important because, again, everyone, when you want to build a house, everyone's going to raise their hand. Oh,
I can build your house.
I can build your house. You know what I mean? But in reality, like if they get picked, they're going to call, oh, Brad, let's do this. Let's do this. So it's like, to really standardize how houses should be built. I think that's what I would really want to educate contractors. And again, we're not contractors, but we're a company of licensed engineers. So we uphold the standards, right? So
do you provide any consultation, Mark, aside from inspections? Does your firm provide consultations for these companies that are just starting out, maybe to put into consideration all of these things? Because maybe the reason why they're not doing it well is because their contract doesn't permit them to have enough budget to do more. So maybe they don't have the knowledge that maybe I have to have contingency to be able to do more for my clients. So does your firm provide consultancy or anything of the sort like that?
yeah, so we actually have a product that we can do like a construction audit. Right. So basically, that audit, we go on site, we understand, all right, how do you communicate with your clients? How do you communicate with your suppliers, right? And then what's the coordination like, right? Is there a foreman? Is there laborers, right? Who's on your payroll? Like who's not on your payroll? You know what I mean? And understanding that who's the project manager,
Yeah.
right? Is there a Gantt chart? Like, there's these basic things where like we inspect so many projects, and some of these documentations are like, I mean, the BOM, BOQs. I mean, it just says plumbing, and it's a one line item, and then there's a price, and then that's their BOM, BOQ. So, I think to be able to give that transparency, that trust. The contractor should be able to know how to deliver a project and what the clients should expect from them.
So for the viewers here that don't know what a BOQ is, can you kindly explain it?
So the BOM BOQ is basically it's an itemized document that is with material cost and the quantity of the materials, and that will equal out the total contract price. Right.
So the reason why this is also very, very important, if you're not itemizing things properly, something as simple as kunwari, something as simple as a toilet, if you just decide you forgot to add one extra toilet, that's thousands of pesos right there. Now add up, if you made one mistake there, it adds up. And so you need to understand building trust is a long-term game. You can make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. It's what customers want isn't a perfect contractor. It's somebody who, when they answer the call, hey, may problema, they answer the phone and they go, let me fix it. Let me deal with this. Let me see what happens. Now imagine yun nga, kunwari, nagkaroon kayo ng back job. Gagawin mo, congratulations, you passed the initial test of the trust. How much more would that trust be if you even avoid that back job? And that's what they're here for.
Yeah.
Nakakatakot talaga eh. Sa totoo lang, it's so scary to be judged. It's so scary to be like, hey, I'm so sorry, but this sucks. What you did here was wrong. That's very scary, but you need to understand what's scarier is magkakaroon ka ng bad review and then they're gonna post that somewhere. That's scary. That's very scary. Two, ang laki ng mistake, hindi mo napansin, hindi sinabi ng worker, hindi sinabi ng engineer, hindi ka na kasi natakot sila na, oh no, mapapagalitan ako ng boss ko.
Yes.
My boss is gonna be mad. I'm just gonna hide it. Next thing you know, that little mistake there is gonna cost you $1 million pesos because the whole wall is now leaking.
Yes.
They didn't attach it properly. They were just too scared to say it.
May
People
cabinet
make
na.
Yeah, there's a cabinet na. There's pintura na. Magkano pintura, skim coat, all of that. What we're trying to avoid here, guys, is one, again, losing trust. That's the whole topic here. But it's more than just that. Construction is a capital-intensive industry.
100%.
Like I said, you think contractors earn a lot of money? It's if we do a good job.
Yes.
And that's the saddest part,
That's what
right?
it is, yeah.
And that's what they're here for. Is it scary? Yes. Is it intimidating to be told na mali yung ginawa mo, pangit yung gawa mo, you need to redo this? Does that cost money? Yes. But it also gives you credibility, and it also helps you reduce future headaches,
Yes.
Saves
which
your
hurts
business.
more and costs more, right?
Absolutely.
That's really good, Dina. I actually thought of two things while you were saying that.
She's fast.
Because usually people don't want to be told those things.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's because we have this trait called extreme personalism. Google nyo siya, and it's gonna come out that Filipinos have this trait. It pretty much means that Filipinos are the most prone to take things personally. You know, in other
Dismosa nga kami.
countries, diba, they would say, you did great there. That's a 9 out of 10 in the States. Oh, thanks. That's 90%. In the Philippines, if you say, that's a 9 out of 10. Bakit? Anong, may mali ba? Ano pang mali? Ayaw mo ba sa akin? Kaya ba 9 out of 10? Kasi you expect, like, parang dapat perfect kasi friends tayo eh. So that's why you're not prone to feedback. You don't want to be told like your mistakes because it feels very personal. It feels very attached to your identity as a person. So when you're doing business, you actually have to learn to detach your business to your identity and see it objectively. Okay,
Yes.
that's my business. How can it grow? How can it improve? It's not me. And another thing, while you were saying that, is that when this saves businesses, can you just imagine how many business owners or how many contractors have already failed and never got the opportunity to get back up?
You're right.
Because they were in millions of debt. There are hundreds
Yes.
of people who are millions in debt and said, I'm never going to do that again.
Yes.
And if you were able to prevent that, Mark, you know, if Philinspect's able to prevent that, that's aside from creating a construction industry that's better, you're actually helping more people, preventing them to fail.
Yes.
So-
that's it.
So that's what we're trying to do here in Beyond the Build. Ayan.
Amen.
Parang pwede ko na nga end dun eh.
Amen, amen. I think
Sige.
kind of like to just add to that, no? If it's not about, if you don't care about trust, you don't care about credibility, okay? Or sige, maybe you don't even care about capital. Think of it na lang as sip-sip kay client. Parang client to para sa'yo. Just for you, I will check my work with them. Just for you, because I care. You're special. Or if somebody tells you you're special, ako na magsasabi nito, that's a lie. They probably tell all their clients that. Oh, para lang sa'yo, I'll get Philinspect to check it. Pero I'm being honest, that's brownie points. That takes a lot of, does this have to be bleeped? I'm just gonna say it. That takes a lot of balls. So for you to initiate that, Gila, that took a
Sure.
lot of balls.
Yes.
Tignan mo, one person just had to say it. Now multiple people are like, okay, if she can do it, I can
Exactly.
too. That's the movement eh. Now that you're
Yes.
doing inspection, now more and more people are like, oh, there's an industry for that.
Do you actually know why, Ina, I was so open to it?
For
Because
sip to your clients?
Pwede.
Just saying.
It's also because in Madhouse, we have been hurt and burned already so many times. The thing that I was saying a while ago, that some people never get back up, I was already at that point that Madhouse was in millions of debt because some things were hidden, some things were not said right away by our project managers or our workers. And exactly what you said, after a few months, you're still accountable to that. And for me, I had to be brave enough and courageous to spend and rectify all of those. And then what I said was like, if I knew that on the onset,
Sure.
then that would have saved my business so much time, so much capital. And that's why right now, I want to know right now, Mark, I want to know right now what's
Yeah.
wrong. So that's why I hope everybody has that same mindset that you don't have to be scorned or burned or in debt to be able to feel like, I think it's time to be ready for another person to check our work.
Parang sumisip-sip lang tayo kay Mark eh. Hindi niya siguro, ay, siya no, naintindihan niya, hala guys.
So Mark, kanina pa kami nagsasabi kanina na baka you can't understand Tagalog, but you kind of do, and then you only reply in English. It's because you're from the States.
Yes.
So can you share a little bit of your background, parang where you're from, why'd you come here, and then why'd you put up Philinspect?
Sure. So I'm originally from LA, in California.
Saw, dude.
So really, for me, I was like any other Filipino, I guess, family that my parents wanted me to be a nurse in the hospital, right? I mean, in the States, Filipinos want like a strong foundation, security, right? And that's the hospital. If you go over in the hospital, it's like 80% Filipinos, right? So it's a thing. So I worked in the industry for 8 years.
In the medical field?
Yeah, in the medical field. Yeah.
As a nurse?
No, I did MRI. So I did like rad tech. Yeah, so rad tech. So
random.
I went through. It was very rewarding because I'm helping patients, right? But I felt like I had something more in me that I can like give to the world. You get what I mean? And me, I made really good money, but the money's like, it doesn't really make my, like, I'm not fulfilled, right? So after that, I got into real estate in the States, right? So I started investing. I did like a couple flips, like I bought like older homes and then I remodeled it and I sold it. And then I did a couple of Airbnb projects. And then from there, I started developing more so under creative financing in the States, right? So basically, how it works is there's a bunch of people that are like in the States, right? How you find a foreclosed house or a really good deal is that you can search records. Like here, there's a Data Privacy Act, right? But over there, you can buy data.
Oh.
It's open.
I didn't know
right?
that.
So you can find people that are bankrupt, people that are in divorce. So you find these people that have issues that you can help them. And if they have real estate, you can offer to buy their house. You know what I mean? And I use virtual assistants in the Philippines to start calling these people, like call them like thousands of people, just calling them.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And just offers. So over time, I developed and I was able to get like 3 or 4 free houses because of creative financing.
Free?
Free, yeah.
What do you mean free?
Also, it's like they'll get a property and loan it from the bank.
Yeah, so let's say
okay.
they're already past due, right? Let's say they owe $50,000, right? But the house is worth $200,000. So now you can offer to buy the house for like, let's say 60,000. So you can give them 10,000 pesos, $10,000 in their pocket, and then now you can take over the payments of the house, right? So
We call that pasalo.
yeah. So for me, you can have like deals where there's like 5 to 10 houses at a time, and then you can offer like seller financing. So instead of you working with the bank, you can work with the actual seller, and you can just pay them with the interest rate and everything. So you don't even need a bank. Does that make sense? Right? And
So
then,
you were able to build your fortune.
yeah, it's just a little bit. I mean, but I mean,
Just a
To
little
all the
bit.
single ladies out there.
no. So that's where the passion came from, the real estate, right? And understanding that I did real estate for the last 10 years in the States. There's systems in place. There's things that I mean, with buying, selling, and with inspections, and like even construction, right? So with my knowledge in the States, my story here begins, right?
Why did you move? If you were doing
that's-
so well. Or is that for another episode?
It's kind of a unique story of why I'm here, right? I wasn't. This is not my plan. I'm not supposed to be here in the Philippines. You know what I mean? What's unique is that I guess I had like a breakup with a girlfriend, right?
Now this is juicy.
Go on.
And then,
Continue.
and then whenever you have a breakup, right, you want to like kind of find yourself.
Don't we all?
Yeah. So I tried to find myself in Thailand, right?
Ooh.
And then when I went to Thailand, I spent 2 days there. I had a 2-week trip. The second day I was in Thailand, I fell 20 meters and I broke my hand. I broke my hand right here and my hip. So I wasn't walking for 3 months in Thailand. So
You stayed in Thailand?
I stayed in Thailand by myself. Yeah. Well, I had like friends, but I went there by myself, but I had like friends that lived in Thailand. So 3 months, not moving, in the hospital and recovering.
Oh.
Yeah. So now fast forward, I haven't been in the States for the last 3 years, ever since I had that finding myself moment.
Ooh.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
crazy.
now, when I was like doing physical therapy, I was healing. My parents told me, "Hey, like come to the Philippines, like see if you can like start something here." You know what I mean? So before I flew back to the States, I came here, and then I tried to start a business. So I wanted to get into like night markets because I spent time in Thailand. You know what I mean? So there's a bunch of nice night markets out there, right? And night markets here are just like fresh fish markets, and they're just like smelly. Like I wanted to create something where you can take a date to. You know what I mean? So I realized it was capital intensive, right? So then I started. My parents were like, hey, let's just do build and sell. So that's when I talked to them. I checked out their project, and then I saw like, hey, this quality is like not good. I mean, my parents like, well, what do you want us to do about it? We just hired them, and then we expect them to build. And then from there, I was like, okay, the night market thing, it's not really working out. So I'm like, okay, like what's up with this like real estate? And started searching, and then wala pa, and then
Galing.
that's how it first started. And really, the amazing story with Philinspect is that I started building the brand, and then I created my website by myself, really poor quality website. But the day after I created my website, someone inquired and they got an inspection.
Wow.
You get what I mean?
It was meant to be.
It was crazy to me. And like right there and there, I knew like there's a market for this for sure. And there was like no advertising. I didn't have a Facebook page yet, wala pa. And they found me on Google.
So would you say right now, fully booked nga kayo lagi?
I would say really for the next month and a half, like it's really, we have inspections. So we're looking to really spread out, you know what I mean? Because we're getting a lot of inquiries, not only from Luzon, but from Davao, from Cebu.
They're so rich there.
Yeah. So
Untapped market, man.
yeah, so it's. I mean, defects are not only happening here.
Yeah.
You know, and it's nationwide. So our goal is to like really help out Filipinos to.
The
The key takeaway here,
ability to
guys.
accept feedback over there. Woo. Good
The
luck,
key
Mark.
takeaway is get your heart broken to have a successful business.
Yes,
It's
to find
crazy.
yourself.
To find yourself, pero in reality, hindi find yourself, that's not enough. You need to find money. I mean, business.
You're calling.
You're calling?
Yeah,
You're so
no.
good, Gila. This is why, I'm just a personality hire, guys. Please continue, Gila.
to find your calling. So actually, everybody right now here in this podcast has found their calling in different ways. You know, for you, you have found it in inspection to help Filipinos. For you, for teaching and educating the public for what construction is. People actually tell me, GLI just makes construction. Makes me understand construction so much easier. For us, we are trying to be able to build this community and also the way that we do design. So with things like that, it goes beyond trust. The passion behind it is it's what's fueling, you know,
Yes.
for our pursuit to hit that trust.
Yes.
So I think a prerequisite to even hit wanting transparency, to get trust, is to have passion for what you
Yes.
do.
Correct.
And that's it for our Beyond the Build episode for today. And if you're
Wait,
watching...
wait. Hindi pa tayo tapos, guys? Kala mo tapos na. Well, I have something to say. Wait, instead of me, actually. Engineer!
Pioneer Concrete Epoxy High Viscosity. Ginagamit na rin pang old to new concrete, wood, at saka metal to concrete. Bye!
So again, special shout out to the people supporting our podcast. Of course, as you guys heard, Pioneer Adhesives
Palwood Philippines.
and T by Mix Concrete Admixtures. Thank you guys so much for watching. Okay?